show we've got planned for you. I'm very excited. It's a Friday. The weekend is here. Incredible football action. Divisional playoff weekend. And then you got the Monday night national championship game between Indiana and Miami. So for the next 3 days, tomorrow, Sunday, Monday night, incredible stuff happening right here when it comes to college and football playoff action. And we're going to get into it. NFL picks will be coming up a little bit later on. An hour from now at 4:05, our guy Mark Topkin, Rays Insider, TampaBay.com. Wow. The Rays making big moves on and off the field regarding their roster, a big trade, and maybe, just maybe, settling on their forever location. Something we talked about late yesterday on the program. Well, Mark Topkin, he's got the scoop. He's going to join us a little bit later on here on the program.
Yeah, sure. I don't know.
He is, Kevin Cash. You might want to listen. It's going to be outstanding. And then at 4:30, Pigskin Pick'em. Great playoff games. Who should be on upset alert this weekend in NFL divisional playoff weekend? Pigskin Pick'em coming up at 4:30. We'll pick all the games, over-unders. At some point, maybe I'll come up with a nice little parlay.
Oh, come on, Tom. Let's do it. Come up with one. I need to play and have a chance to win some more money this weekend.
I've had my heart broken, man, with these parlays the last couple of weeks. One Dalton Kincaid catch last week. Son of a gun. But anyway, we'll get something going. You got to get back on the horse. You got to get back on it. And I will a little bit later on. Ronnie Lane, 5 o'clock happy hour. Ronnie will be here. We'll talk about all things Tampa Bay sports. You got the Bucs searching for an OC. You got the Rays making moves. The Lightning are in action tonight. They're skating in St. Louis looking for win number 12 in a row. We'll discuss all of that. Ronnie Lane, happy hour. Drinks are on the house. 5 o'clock Friday. Oh, yeah. It's going down, baby. And then at 5:30, boy, oh, boy, some of you. Can I just ask this one question? Like, how dumb are some people?
What's the question?
I got a lot of questions for you, too, Sean Payton. My goodness. I mean, it reached an all-time low. The mailbag coming up at 5:30. Man, oh, man. Just reading over some text. And
Hideous.
It is hideous, John. The stuff on social media is just absolutely absurd. It's obnoxious. It really is. But we got the mailbag coming up at 5:30. We're on the air to 7 o'clock on a beautiful football Friday.
There's a show. That's a show.
That's a show. Right then and there. That's how we do it on a beautiful football Friday here on The Drive, which so much happening. And we're going to get into it. Your calls and texts. I'm excited. The weather outside is just delightful. It really is. Now, it was a bit nipply last night. 20s and 30s, man, had the heat going on. I tell you what, slept like a baby last night. Usually do. You know, I'll flip open the windows in my bedroom and it gets freezing cold in there. And I forgot that I left them open when I went to work, and then I came home. Holy cow. It was like Soldier Field for Sunday's game between the Rams and the Bears. That's how it felt like. But then once the heat comes on, you get a little warm and toasty underneath the covers, out like a light. Some great sleeping weather to be had here with this cooler weather on tap. So hopefully all of you are staying warm and fuzzy, and you're bringing your pets in at night and covering your plants and everything else. It's a beautiful thing. Ladies and gentlemen, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are searching for an offensive coordinator, as you may or may not know. It is exciting if they get the right candidate. The right candidate is here, and he's in the building. Can the Buccaneers close the deal on one Mike McDaniel? That is the theme of our opening drive.
Tampa Bay Sports Radio presents The Opening Drive.
An impressive opening drive.
What an opening drive.
With TKras.
Well, I like it. I like it a lot. So the Buccaneers are entertaining Mike McDaniel today over at the Advent Health Training Center. And as we talked about yesterday, this is a major opportunity for the Buccaneers and maybe one for Mike McDaniel as well. He is the object of desire of several teams, not just for offensive coordinator position, but for a head coaching job. And Mike McDaniel interviewed yesterday for the Baltimore Ravens head coaching job. And that is right now with the Giants job, presumably we think going to John Harbaugh, although they have not come to an agreement yet. They're still haggling over some terms of his contract. Who knows what that looks like? It is not officially done, which I find interesting. And I'm just wondering, is there another team trying to come in at the 11th hour and trying to throw everything at John Harbaugh in order for him to spurn the Giants at the 11th hour and take some other gig? We've seen crazier things happen in this world. Gosh, in our lifetime. Remember Josh McDaniels, not to be confused with Mike McDaniel. And that's something, look, on social media, you guys need to, it just drives me nuts. You're calling McDaniels, and all this stuff. I mean, I'm just muting people now. I mean, if you don't know what the hell you're talking about and you can't spell a guy's name, I mean, it's not worth looking at, honestly. Remember Josh McDaniels had the deal with the Colts and then left him at the altar? Of course, the most famous one that I can remember, like it was yesterday, Bill Belichick, named as a Jets head coach, and then he gets up there with a little sheet of paper and resigns. And he wrote it down on a napkin, I resign as HC of the NYJ, which was unbelievable at the time. And then he gets traded to the Patriots. Whatever. But stranger things have happened. I think John Harbaugh is going to take the Giants job. We think that contract's going to get done, but we'll see. And that obviously will have a ripple effect on the other head coaching jobs available, as well as have an impact on the Buccaneers. Because if Harbaugh, for some reason, he doesn't come to an agreement with the Giants, we think that he wants Todd Monken to follow him. Now, Monken, a couple of days ago, interviewed with the Buccaneers on Wednesday. And reportedly, everything went well there. Now you get Mike McDaniel in your building. And as we talked about yesterday, if you're the Buccaneers, if you think this is your guy, and I think this is the guy, this is your number one option, and he is in your building, you got to do whatever it takes to get this guy to say yes, provided that the dialogue goes well, and I'm sure he's got a plan for how to take this Buccaneer offense to where it was last year, back to where it was 2 years ago, where they were absolutely doing a number in the passing game and in the running game as well. And we know in the running game, the kind of innovation that he brings to the table would be an instant upgrade. Now, he had Devon Achane down in Miami. Bucky Irving feels like a similar type of talent, maybe not with the flat-out speed, but Bucky's got a second gear to him that we saw at least a year ago during his rookie year. This year, it did not look great. He got injured, and then he came back. He couldn't average 4 yards a carry for the most part. But with a guy like McDaniel, he can scheme things up in the running game, and he's been known to do that. And there's a reason why he's in high demand. There's a reason why he's getting head coaching interviews. He's also interviewed for the Browns head coaching job. He's interviewed with the Atlanta Falcons. So you got to keep that in mind too. Here's a guy that could end up in your division, potentially, with Matt Ryan being the president of football up in Atlanta, and he's going through these interviews. He's in charge of trying to find the head coach, although they need to find a general manager first. I mean, that's usually the pecking order. You hire the GM, and then you hire the coach, but whatever. The Falcons are doing Falcons type of things. But the bottom line is this. Mike McDaniel is in your building. You're rolling out the red carpet, which I'm sure the Buccaneers have done this morning, whenever he got in there. However long that meeting's going to last, I would love to be a fly on the wall to hear Todd Bowles and Mike McDaniel in the same room. Can you imagine what that conversation would sound like? You know, Todd Bowles like, wow, you beat me in that game. You know, that was. And then Mike McDaniel's like, yes, we did. We did what we had to do, even with a rookie quarterback, a 7th-round pick. And then Todd Bowles probably asking him, well, what is your vision of this offense? And then Mike McDaniel, well, I'm glad you asked. Here, this. And he's probably going to be very detail-oriented. Don't forget, he's from the Kyle Shanahan coaching tree. He was with the 49ers as a run game coordinator and as an OC under Kyle Shanahan. I want anybody who's been associated with Kyle Shanahan. I want anybody who's been associated with Sean McVay. And, you know, the Buccaneers went down that road when Liam Cohen was named the OC. When Liam Cohen and Baker Mayfield spent some time together a couple of years ago, and that led to Liam Cohen getting the job. So let's not forget Baker Mayfield and his influence on all of this. I would think that Baker Mayfield's being consulted about Zach Robinson being interviewed, who has history with Baker, Todd Monken being interviewed, who has history with Baker. Now, Mike McDaniel does not have history with Baker, but if I'm Baker Mayfield, I've seen this guy. He's probably respected him from afar, and I don't know if Baker was a part of that interview process. We talked about this toward the end of yesterday's show. If I'm the Buccaneers, I absolutely would have Baker in the building. I would have Tristan Wirfs in the building. And I don't know if Mike Evans is around. He's on an expiring contract. But if it's possible, I would have him in the building as well. You got to pull out all the stops. If you feel like this is the guy, then go get him. You don't let him out of your building. And we talked about some of these head coaching opportunities that are out there. And Mike McDaniel has interviewed for a few of them already. And he's also the object of desire for the Lions and their head coaching opportunity. The Eagles reportedly want to talk to him as well. So this is a guy, there's a reason why a lot of people want to talk to him. And I've seen some Bucs fans say, why are we talking to this guy? Really? Oh, my gosh. I'm not going to get into it. Because my blood pressure is beautiful this week, 125/77. And it's not worth it getting riled up over a couple of numbskulls on social media and beyond. But there's a reason why there are so many teams falling over themselves to talk to this guy, because he's good at what he does. Damn it. And when you look at some of these other offensive coordinator jobs, and Jeff Darlington made a good point, look at the Lions. There's an offensive head coach in Dan Campbell. In fact, Dan Campbell was calling the plays for a while this season up in Detroit. So you're going to have a guy kind of hovering over you. Nick Sirianni's an offensive guy in Philadelphia, plus the pressure. Jalen Hurts, are there limitations with him as a passer? You get the whole A.J. Brown thing. It seems like a lot of turmoil up in Philadelphia. And yes, with the Buccaneers, there are some cons. You have a guy on the hot seat in Todd Bowles. But you've seen offensive coordinators who came in here in 1 year. They hit it out of the park and got a head coaching job. If I'm Mike McDaniel, I'm looking at that. I'm looking at, wow, Dave Canales in 1 year went to Carolina. Liam Cohen in 1 year did his thing, and now he's up in Jacksonville turning that franchise around. Mike McDaniel's got confidence in himself that, you know what? There's some great talent here. Baker is here, the O-line, skill position guys. I could come in here in 1 year and I can parlay that into a head coaching job, maybe here or somewhere else. So I think there are a lot of benefits to this job. Whereas those other OC jobs with offensive-minded head coaches, maybe, you know, there might be an instance of having too many chefs in the kitchen, so to speak. Here with the Bucs, you know, Todd Bowles, he'll let you do your thing. He's concentrated on the defensive side as well as, you know, how to manage the game. You will have complete autonomy as the OC. You'll have complete control of the offense with no interference. Whereas those other places, you might have a little bit of pushback. So I think this is a unique opportunity. And I do believe that the Buccaneers offensive coordinator job is better than a couple of these head coaching jobs that are available right now, like Arizona. Why would you go there? Again, you got to look at the owner. You got to look at the quarterback. Arizona, Michael Bidwell, and I don't know who the quarterback is. Looks like they want to give up on Kyler Murray. I would rather be the Buccaneers offensive coordinator than the Arizona Cardinals head coach. Falcons are an interesting story. You know, Michael Penix, another lefty quarterback, kind of like Tua. They do have a lot of weaponry on offense, no first-round pick. So, I mean, that could be a job that maybe Mike McDaniel looks like, okay, would I rather be the head coach of the Falcons or the offensive coordinator in Tampa Bay? There are benefits to both. Do you believe in Michael Penix? And that would be Mike McDaniel's dilemma because he's interviewed with the Falcons. Now, the Ravens job, forget about that. He's going to take the Ravens job. Like, if Steve Bisciotti, and I saw his rather entertaining press conference the other day, if he offers Mike McDaniel the head coaching job, that is absolutely a better job than the Bucs OC job. I mean, Lamar Jackson, talent everywhere. There were some injuries, but I think he can do a lot of damage with a guy like Derrick Henry in the backfield. That is a better head coaching job. But, I mean, Browns, would you want to go there? I know there was a connection there with the wide receivers coach there many years ago, so there was a connection. But would you want to go to Cleveland? Shedeur Sanders, 6 of their offensive linemen are entering free agency, by the way. I think the Buccaneers, warm weather environment, complete autonomy, no state income tax. I think the Buccaneers' job as the OC is better than the head coaching job in Cleveland. Call me crazy. So I think there's an opportunity here for both sides. And Mike McDaniel's a smart guy. He's going to have to look at all these factors. Remaining in the state of Florida with the no state income tax, that absolutely is a thing. And you got to ask yourself this. Am I better off maybe taking a step back, and we know he's got years left on the Dolphins contract, and they're going to pay him. If he becomes a head coach, that kind of goes away. So you become an offensive coordinator, you can still kind of skim a little off the top, being an OC, as opposed to being a head coach and having that money go away. When Adam Schefter mentioned that the other day, I thought that was really interesting, and that's something that should not be discounted. So I think there's opportunity here, and the fact that Mike McDaniel, who's in high demand, decided to come here and interview for this job, it leads you to believe that he's interested. We know the Bucs are interested, and if he's in the building today, get it done. Lock him in. Make him a hostage if you have to. And hopefully we can get some type of word by the end of the day. All right, your thoughts. Is the Bucs OC job better than some of these head coaching jobs? I think the answer is yes. What do you think? 888-546-4620. Text at 82945. So a lot of interesting variables, a lot of interesting stuff happening with the head coaching vacancies, the OC vacancies, divisional playoff weekend. We'll talk a lot of football here. It is a Football Friday, and it is brought to you by Wesley Chapel Lexus, where they always support the home team and you with their exclusive lifetime plan. When you think Lexus, think Wesley Chapel Lexus. All right, huge show. Mark Topkin at 4 o'clock. Ronnie at 5. Mailbag at 5:30. NFL picks 1 hour from now. It's a huge Football Friday with your calls and your texts and everything else. We're going to have some fun here today. So glad to have you with us on this Football Friday. When we come back, your calls and texts on the Bucs, on Mike McDaniel. Can they get it done today? We're certainly hoping that we'll get word about something breaking over at the Advent Health Training Center. And also on the way back, oh man, the Tampa Bay Rays are wheeling and dealing. Big trade made and big moves regarding their possible forever home. Details next.
You're tuned in to The Drive with TKras.
If you're out and about on this beautiful Friday, the weather is extraordinary. Not as